So I walked into my kitchen and I was looking around, and it looks like this after this weekend. But I walked in and I took a look at the pantry, and I was like, man, there's no macaroni and cheese in there. I wish I had some scalloped potatoes. And when I say that, I mean the box with the dehydrated potatoes in it and the sauce mix. Well, I don't have any scalloped potatoes because it hasn't occurred to me to get any from the food pantry. But what I do have is these potatoes that I'm not sure what I've been saving them for. I kind of have been saving them for something. I was going to make that hamburger gravy thing I keep talking about, or I was going to make some more French fries. But what I really want today is scalloped potatoes. So let's do that. Because the only thing in that box that they give you at the store is dehydrated potatoes and sauce mix. That's all that's in it. I bet I've got, the spices and everything to do that here. So let's do it. I had to go find a recipe. I've never made scalloped potatoes from fresh potatoes before. And actually, I don't think I've ever made scalloped potatoes in a skillet before. Maybe I have. I bet I have. I think I have. I don't know. But my first big problem is that this kitchen is a disaster. I just don't have time to deal with it. I mean, I'm the only person around here that does anything. And obviously I can't afford to hire help. So I gotta clean this up. Alright, I found a reusable washcloth that got folded under one of my pairs of sweatpants. It was kind of funny. It was like it was trying to hide from me. Like, don't use me, don't use me. Alright. So I'm going to clean this. I need to wipe off my little table that I used to hold all my weird kitchen stuff. Like the trash bags and vinegar and kind of the cleaning stuff. Can we not do that? It is a whopping 57 degrees out. I'm kind of excited about that. Kind of wish I would have got up earlier. Then this lunch would already be done and I would have time to go ride my bike. Not go shopping, just ride the bike. I'm out of money. But it would be nice to go ride the bike for a minute, build up some thigh strength, enjoy the view and the weather. My tiny Dawn dish soap is about out. It actually lasted a long time, longer than I thought it would. I think I've had this little Dawn dish soap for about 2 weeks. Maybe 3. But with as much as I have to do dishes these days, I didn't expect it to last a week. Alright, so I pretty much had to wash every dish that I currently have in circulation. That sucked. So here's the stovetop scallop potatoes, and this is from Eating on a Dime. So you need 2 pounds of potatoes, a tablespoon of butter, some white onion, chicken broth, heavy whipping cream, salt, black pepper, shredded cheese, and green onions. And I can tell you right now that I'm not using 2 pounds of potatoes. I don't have any chicken broth. I don't have any heavy whipping cream. I do have some cheese, but it's not cheddar, and I do not have any green onions. So, I'm going to use what I have. Because what else are you going to do? Scalloped potatoes is basically, boiled potatoes in a cream sauce. So, I really just want the recipe as a guide. And that's what I have. So, technically, I'm more interested in the directions than I am the ingredients. So I got these onions. I'm going to make onion rings, but for some reason I just haven't done it yet. So I'm going to chop one of these up. Because what else you going to do? So we're going to chop it and peel it. I've had these for a few days, longer than I really normally let them sit out. All right, well, I might be using onion powder if this keeps up. This is the second one of these onions that has been really, really bumpy. I don't know if they're like, they sit in a basket in the grocery store, and I'm not sure if that basket is the reason for this, but I pulled off several layers of that onion and it is still really bumpy. So I'm going to try the other one. I mean, I wouldn't be able to make onion rings out of that anyway. We'll see how this one does. I mean, I can always go get more onions. They're only a couple dollars. It's just, I kind of wanted to use these. Or maybe it's because they're Spanish onions. These are Spanish onions. They were what was on sale. Don't know what's going on here. And the second one is rotten. I'm not terribly surprised. I sat on them for too long and didn't do what I intended, so all right. I guess I'm just gonna do onion powder. All right. I'm not gonna buy those Spanish onions again. I am not happy with them. I bought them twice because they were on sale, but I'm not doing it again. I wasn't happy with those at all. And normally I deal with onions and stuff like that right away, and I had bigger plans for those onions, and of course it didn't materialize. And those bigger plans required that the onions were fresh and not frozen. So I'll just use onion powder in the scalloped potatoes. I probably would have put onion powder in it anyway. Let's hope the potatoes are better. Let's see if the potatoes are any good. This is taking quite a while. It's almost 1 o'clock now, 12:58. I think I started on this about 12:30, so it's been a good 20 minutes. 20, 30 minutes of me fighting vegetables. So let's hope the potatoes are good. I'm going to get a bowl. All right, I'm going to get a bowl so I can put these potatoes in them. I like paper towels for drying the dishes off because you're not really going to get any lint with a piece of paper. But my reusable paper towels tend to be a little bit linty these days. And they're old. I've had them since July or August. That potato is mighty green. I think I'm gonna do the rest of these and put them in as scalloped potatoes. They're firm though. I like that. Can you see what I'm doing? There we go. Well, now the bowl's in the way. All right. So, all right, that's fine. I can use onion powder instead of onions. I used the last of my onions yesterday, and the problem with these Spanish onions is they're really, really strong. So I don't think I'm going to get them again anyway, because I really didn't like their flavor. They were very, very oniony, and I guess I'm not a fan of that. I love onion, but I guess I didn't too much like how oniony those were. So anyway, this could fall under no fritter February because I've got all these ingredients already here, and I'm not going to the store for anything. Boy, these are mighty green. it's time to use the rest of these. So, scalloped potatoes is a good use. Scalloped potatoes is a nice, hearty dish. And I am not an idiot when it comes to slicing this stuff. It's much easier to slice on a flat edge than it is to try and slice it when it's round. And yes, my scalloped potatoes just keep getting smaller because safety first. So those potatoes are done. Alright, so I've still got plenty of potatoes for scalloped potatoes. This has got the same issue. Yeah, so it's time to use these. And the grain, from what I've researched about it, can't harm you like some of the other bacteria that gets on potatoes. So if you just cut it, it's more unsightly than harmful. Because you know me, if I thought it was going to be a problem, I would have pitched these potatoes, but this potato's got too many angles on it. It's a little difficult to cut. Is going on. We got a bad spot right here. Let's see if we can shave it off. Oh, I got two more of these. Quite a few potatoes in there. And if you're wondering why I peel everything with a knife, it's because I used to have a vegetable peeler. And they started making them laser sharp. And one got me, and that was the end of it. You know, I need my knives sharp, but if they're sharp enough to butcher a cow, they're too sharp for my kitchen. Figures, the first warm day we have, and there's a fly in the house. Probably because I went out for a bike ride yesterday. I'd like to go out for a bike ride today, but I don't think it's going to happen. I need to take advantage of the weather and do a bunch of laundry. And if you're wondering why that matters, it's because I hang the hose, or I prefer to hang the hose out the door, the front door. And if it's really, really cold, it just makes the heat kick on worse. All right, my potatoes are done. Now I need to throw away the scraps. I need to wipe off my table. If I got room in my skillet, I might add this can of corn I got. Let's see if I've got any other vegetables too. I think I've still got some carrots. That might be tasty. Scalloped. Ooh, potatoes and carrots. I almost threw my reusable washcloth in the trash. That would have been bad. Okay, so let's see what there is to do. Alright, I think this skillet is clean. You'd be surprised how many times I've washed something 10 times. And then, right as I go to do something with it, I catch a dirty spot. Let's see where I'm at with the let's see what the directions say here. Okay, so you put some butter, which this right here will be fine. I'm just going to put the rest of this in here. And the potatoes in a skillet. And this is once again margarine, not butter. But I'm going to go ahead and put those in with the potatoes, maybe with a little salt and pepper. Well, I might be able to fit some corn in there. So these are going to cook for a few minutes because you got to get them soft. For this particular recipe, they're not going to soften in the oven because there isn't going to be an oven. So there we go. I'm going to let those cook for a minute and I'll be back. All right, those are as cooked as I want them. They're actually a little bit crispier than I want, but that's okay. Let's go to the next step here. In a small bowl, combine the broth, heavy whipping cream, salt, and pepper, and then bring it to a boil. Cook 13 to 15 minutes or until the potatoes are fork tender. Alright, so you know what we're going to do. I know what happens here, why they're doing it this way. That heavy whipping cream will thicken as it cooks, but my milk will not. So, we're going to take these potatoes out of the skillet and put them in a bowl. Because otherwise, this is going to be impossible. Lost one. Alright. So then, I'm going to put some more butter in this pan. And I'm going to make that white sauce I always make. And I guess I'll do it with real butter. I happen to have some. I kind of splurged about a week ago. So I'm going to put some real butter in here because the box is open mostly. My other box of margarine is not open, so I don't want to fight it. The butter is open. And hey, why not splurge a little bit and use a little butter, since I have it. But what I want to do is melt the butter. I'm going to put a little onion powder in here. And I still do not have any pepper, unfortunately. I'm going to put some garlic in here too. What else do they have going in this? Just salt and black pepper is all they've got going into it. So mine's going to be a little fancier. I'm going to put some salt in it. The butter's salted too, so salt. Okay, so we've got onion powder, garlic. Yeah, I can't go wrong with a little bit of thyme. And some paprika. And some of this stuff. Red pepper flakes. I do have something special to put in there. I thought about adding corn. I thought about adding carrots. I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm just feeling kind of lazy, and it's seriously pushing 2 o'clock. Let's see what we got. What is this? Oh, pork thing, sausage, bacon. So I'm going to put the rest of this bacon in here. I've got some cooked bacon I'm going to put in. So we'll just do that. I'll see if I've got any other vegetables in the freezer I could add. I don't think I do. I'm kind of short on vegetables. Nah, I don't have any other vegetables. I would have to cut up some carrots or add the corn, and I don't feel like doing either one, so just a little bacon then. And I'm going to add a little flour like I always do. And I want to point out that I did not wash this skillet, so I'm just dumping in the butter and the flour and the bacon on top of the whatever potatoes were burnt in the bottom of the pan. I really can't believe I'm out of pepper. I can't remember the last time I actually ran out of pepper. And then just like haven't been to the store since. Kind of crazy. I guess it's because my budget is just so ridiculously small these days. It's just like, plus I'm just not going to go out for like one item. I did go out yesterday and I could have looked for black pepper at CVS, and they probably have it. I just forgot to look. This is a good use for this milk anyway. It's the 3rd, and this milk goes out on the 4th. It's crazy. But as you saw with my biscuits and gravy video, if I put it up, I don't throw it away right away after it expires, because sometimes it's still alright. And I'm just making the sauce for my scalloped potatoes. And this is pretty much what the directions say too, except when you heat up heavy whipping cream, it thickens. And this won't do that, because I've got whole milk, not heavy whipping cream. Heavy whipping cream at the local grocery is $10. I misread the price on it one time. I thought it was $5 something, which was still high for what I was getting. And I actually had a ride that day, and I noticed my grocery bill was a little bit too high. But since I had the ride, I just didn't want to press it. You know, I didn't want to waste my ride's time. So I went ahead and got it, and when I got home, I realized that the heavy whipping cream was $10. Yeah, I have not bought any since. Especially since the only reason I wanted it was for coffee. It's like, geez, folks. Alright, I'm going to add the potatoes back into the gravy, and then I'm going to fill up this skillet the rest of the way. Alright, I'm going to add just a touch more milk, and then I'm going to start adding cheese. I have just a little bit of Italian cheese. I'm going to put a little bit of Italian cheese in here too. I would say you can use about any cheese you have on hand. I just happen to have Italian, so that's what I'm using. I bet it'd even be good with Swiss cheese. Alright, I'm going to show you what that looks like. So here it is. I've added the cheese on top of my scalloped potatoes. And I'm going to stir it around until the cheese has melted. Then I'm going to turn the fire up. I think this is going to be about perfect. I don't think I've ever made this from scratch, or if I have, it's been years and years and years ago. Normally I just buy the box mix, but I don't have any. I'm really kind of short on money. So hey, I just happen to have all the ingredients on hand, except for the pepper. That's kind of the disappointing ingredient that I don't have, but at the same time, I think it'll be all right. I'm sure there are people who don't like pepper who don't include it in anything. Wow, this is creamy. I have done an amazing job here, folks. I'm just waiting on it to boil. All right, we're going to call these Stacy's Creamy Bacon Potatoes. It just looks delicious. Just waiting on it to boil. It's thick. It's thick. And the Italian cheese makes it a little bit stringy. But I think it'll be all right. Oh, it's boiling. It's boiling. Well, there's about 6 or 7 more minutes of this video. But right as I was about to put the potatoes in a bowl and taste them, the camera cut off. So it's basically 4 or 5 minutes of staring at the stove, and then I turn the camera around to view the yellow bowl, and it just stops right there. I don't know what happened there, so I'll just leave you with this image of the scalloped potatoes in the skillet. They were absolutely delicious, and I encourage you to try them. I absolutely loved them. And anyway, if you liked this video, please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you later.